When it comes to attractiveness, a lot of you focus strictly on your looks, and although that is important, you can be a 10, but if your personality is a 2, you will attract nobody. Whether that's girls, friends, in a professional setting. I'll put it this way, your looks is what makes people open the door, but what's inside the door, the room itself, is your personality. So once they open the door, if they see your personality is good, then they'll stick around, but if they see your personality is shit, they'll close the door and go the other way. So in order to make people open that door and actually stay in it, I'm going to tell you the 7 pillars to having an attractive personality as a guy. Starting with pillar number 1, continuous self-improvement. But the thing about self-improvement is that there's a very fine line, which can either make it something beneficial for you or something not beneficial for you. And that line is, are you doing self-improvement for you or for others? In other words, are you doing it for external validation or are you doing it for internal validation? And here's the difference. When you do self-improvement for external validation because you want people to look at you and think you're attractive, you want people to look at you and be proud of you, you want people to look at you and want to replicate you, it's a never-ending chase because there's always more people to please. And then your own fulfillment can easily be affected because now you're putting the power of that in other people's hands, which in turn affects your confidence and how you come off to others. On the other hand, if you're doing self-improvement for internal validation, strictly for you to be proud of yourself, that will rub off on your confidence and the way you act because you're not trying to prove anything to anybody. And at the same time, you're doing self-improvement, you're working out, you're stepping out of your comfort zone, you're meditating, you're developing your character, your mindset. So you're becoming the best version of yourself, but you're not necessarily trying to do it for others, and that itself is the secret to actually being confident. Pillar number 2 is to give compliments without ask. This is a trait of a social leader. This is one of 3 traits of being a social leader that I'll get into because being a social leader is crucial for having an attractive personality. But starting with this one, giving compliments without ask. A lot of us are scared to give compliments to others when it's literally out of the blue. You haven't been talking to that person, it's a complete stranger, and you're just giving them a compliment. And a lot of people see that as beta behavior. But actually, if you're a strong person that's able to give a genuine compliment to someone because you notice something about them, that shows a lot of confidence because you're straight up saying, yo, I like this about you, I admire this about you. Now, you don't want to overdo it going around giving the most random compliments to everybody right and left. But when you genuinely find something about someone that you actually admire, let them know. So for example, if you're ordering coffee at a coffee shop and the lady taking your order has a really cool pendant, let her know. Be like, oh, I noticed that pendant, it's really nice. Is there a meaning behind it? Or even if you're at the gym and some guy just did a massive PR, you go up to him and you let him know, good shit, bro. Because put yourself in their shoes. When you get a genuine compliment from someone, you automatically respect that person for noticing something specific about you and letting you know about it. Pillar number 3 is to smile. Because here's the thing, we tend to want to be that serious alpha male like Tommy Shelby from Peaky Blinders, if you've seen that show. And that is attractive because it shows a sign of mystery, but not when it's forced. You see, you'll have your reasons to be serious, but you'll also have your reasons to smile. When you have those reasons, don't avoid it. Smile. There's nothing wrong with it and it's contagious. Other people seeing you smile will make them smile as well. This is one of the biggest compliments I get, is that I tend to smile or be happy a lot of the time. And people notice that and tell me, Pierre, I like how you have that high energy and you smile. It makes it so that you're a good vibe and a good personality to be around. Because think of the opposite, someone that's always frowning, sad, negative. You don't want to be around that person. You want to be around the person that's smiling, that's positive, that's having a good time. So when you get the chance, smile, be happy. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't force it and overdo it, but smile genuinely. Number 4, this is the second of 3 traits of a social leader, is to listen. Not just hear, but actually listen. I know a lot of you do this. When you're talking to someone and you're nervous about the conversation. For example, if you're talking to a girl that you're into, while she's talking, in your head, you're not really listening to her. You are thinking about the next thing you want to say to avoid awkward silence and then make sure the conversation keeps flowing. And I get that. You don't want to run out of things to say or you don't want to say the wrong thing. But when you take the time to actually listen to someone, your response will be way better and way more genuine than if you were thinking of what to say before even listening to what they were saying. Because your response will have something specific about what they said and they'll notice that, oh, he really paid attention to what I was saying because he pointed out the specific detail that I said. And that is one of the most attractive things. Someone that is a good listener, that genuinely listens, that is actually interested. And then it also makes the conversation have a way better connection and flow a lot better. Pillar number 5 is exposure therapy. If you've seen some of my previous videos, you know I talked about this before. So what is exposure therapy? It's pretty self-explanatory. So you want to have a better personality, right? Think of the hardest social thing you can do. Now, I always give this example, but it's true. For most guys, it would be approaching a girl in public that they find attractive and getting her number. Okay, that's the end goal. So now every single day, progressively expose yourself to that end goal continuously. So on the first day, you see a girl that you don't know, but you find her attractive. You go up to her and you simply ask for the time. Usually you wouldn't do this, but now you're slowly working towards that end goal. Next day, you go up to a girl, you might ask her for the time. You might give her a compliment, which is one of the tips we just said. Oh, I like your shoes. Have a quick conversation about that. Boom. boom. And then by the third week, you approached a girl, you gave her a compliment, had a quick chat, and by the end of it, you got her number. Something that you were once terrified of doing, because you exposed yourself to it continuously, you ended up doing it and became way more confident with it. Pillar number 6, be positive. No one likes being around someone that is pessimistic, seeing the worst in things and constantly complaining. Now, at the same time, you don't want to be a kiss up and agree with people just to be positive all the time. But you need to develop a positive mindset in a sense that you see the good in things. Because again, people get affected by others, the people they are around. Now, if people are around you and you are a positive and outgoing person, again, that character rubs off on the people around you and will make them want to spend more time with you. And again, positivity is not something you can force, but one thing that helped me a lot with this is journaling. Simply writing the things that you're grateful for, any challenge that you're taking on, write what's exciting about it, what can be fun about it, what you might enjoy about it. Because in every situation, no matter which one it is, there's a good and there's a bad in it, and it's completely up to you to decide which one you want to focus on. And finally, pillar number 7 is to be decisive. This is the final trait of a social leader. Decisiveness shows confidence and assertiveness. You know what you want and you know what you don't want. And the thing I noticed is that most people, whether it's in a group setting or one-on-one, enjoy being a follower. When someone else is taking charge, they don't mind, especially if that person taking charge is making the right decision. And from personal experience, I found that when I take girls out on dates, they find it way more attractive when I make the decision. Instead of asking them, what do you want to eat? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? I decide, okay, I'm going to pick you up at this time. We're going to go here and eat this. We're going to do this. They're just happy to come along with the ride, and seeing that you make the decisions and you're making the good decisions shows that you're a good leader, you're confident, and you're assertive. If you guys don't know, by the way, I just started a free community attaching it to this channel called the S Tier, where we all interact with each other, challenge each other, help each other out, and the goal of achieving what we call the S Tier, the best version of ourselves. It's a free community. The link is in the description. Join it, and I'll see you there. As always, I appreciate you guys watching the video, and I'll see you in the next video.